Times, including before today's game, your bigger picture focus. You thought you guys playing fairly well, but this win coming as it did against the Giants, how big was it?
It's a nice ball game. It's a good win, no question about it. Rightfully get asked like, what's the level of concern, what's going on, and when I answer with confidence and not a whole lot of like, what do you mean? It's because just look around our clubhouse. We got winners up and down the lineup. We got winners up and down the rotation. We got guys that, the back in the bullpen are killing it. So, listen, we ran out guys today that, all-star, platinum gold glove, 5-time silver slugger, Mr. Bogaerts, 2-time World Series champion, Iglesias, 300 last year, Heyward, World Series champion, Pavetta, so I just look around and we draw confidence from each other, knowing we've, been there, done that. Doesn't mean it's going to take care of itself. We still got to take care of our business. But tonight was also indicative of a very professional baseball game. It was a good teammate game, which means people trust each other, and so that experience paid off. 2 outs, nobody on, first inning. Manny, Laser, good approach. Shildt gets the walk. Bogey, I'm sure we'll talk about, rightfully so. Great at bat, base hit through the middle. Shildt first at third. Bogey trails. Iglesias used the whole field. Way to use the whole field. Later on, Heyward, opposite field double. Diaz, just, I'm going to bunt him over. I'm going to get him over somehow. And then figured out, I'm going to hit him over. Gets the job done there. Arraez picks him up. Welcome back, Louie and Jason. And then, of course, Bogey does the thing late to open it up. So just a good baseball team playing good baseball and trusting their experience and going to play and playing together.
Regarding Xander, who you've expressed a lot of confidence in, it has been kind of a rough stretch for him. So tonight, what did you see?
Yeah, a lot of confidence. Again, I'm a back of the baseball card kind of guy, and we got guys that are earning the back of the baseball card, and we have a lot of guys that have. And again, no one rests on their laurels in this game, but the best predictor of future success can be previous success. And when you have a guy, 5 silver sluggers, look around, man. By the way, how about Tony Winnight tonight? I look up at the stats for that guy. Oh my gosh, is he playing in a different league? It's like Nintendo with that guy. But yeah, Bogey, it's easy to have complete confidence in all our guys, but, related to Bogey, absolutely. Because I get the privilege to know how he goes about it, his heart for competition, how he works, and today he was very intentional about, I'm not going to try to do too much, ball up the middle, laser to the first baseman, stay true, and then when he's doing that, he can pull the ball, keep it fair, and stay straight. So he's just if anything about Bogey, he's like a lot of our guys, he cares so much and wants so well to do so well for our club in this city. So good for him, good for us.
I'm wondering what you thought of Pavetta tonight, but also specifically like what you thought of his ability to kind of keep guys off balance, guessing maybe the wrong things. He's got a lot of called strikes tonight. His ability to kind of, he's shown that ability so far.
He's been good, hasn't he? He's really thrown the ball well. I love watching him pitch. I love that he enjoys himself, and I like to see the personality. I love our guys when they exhibit who they are and their personalities. And man, his fastball's got such life to it. I get the privilege of watching it from the side, and it just jumps on guys, and so then when that starts to happen, especially as the game goes, like whoa, and then the breaking ball, you got the breaking ball going, and he's got that combination of pitches. It's a really good combination. He filled the strike zone up. Listen, 89 pitches, 58 strikes, dominating counts, and when you're dominating counts with plus pitches, now you're like, where do I go? And so that's what you get. You get guys that aren't able to zero in on anything because they can't eliminate anything, and they got 2 quality pitches to think about.
I know you talk a lot about competing regardless of circumstance, but having those 2 guys back in the lineup, like what kind of jolt did that give?
It helps. We're not going to kid ourselves. We were getting after it regardless of circumstances, what we do. But yeah, having 2 veteran, experienced guys, Louie that let's don't kid ourselves. He's a big part of what we do and how we do it, and has been since the day he got here. I mean, literally the day he got here. And Jason's a experienced guy that his wisdom showed up, and he was giving everything he had when he wasn't with us in the dugout and helping. But he's on the field and that experience and going and talking to guys and hey, this is what we're going to see and this is what this ball's doing, and helping the next man up with his experience. It adds up, and you saw a really good baseball game played by the Padres tonight.
And Mike, back to Bogaerts. Why do you think he's had so much trouble just finding his footing here since he came to San Diego? He really hasn't been the same player he was in Boston.
Yeah, listen, I don't have the history that, with him in Boston. We didn't play him a lot when I was, in a different spot. So I don't know what that is. I know the pedigree. I know the accomplishments, know the accolades, and the respect the league has for him. Listen, I've also had the, privilege to see guys that have spent their whole careers, not only through the system, but, a number of years. I mean, won 2 World Series in that organization. It takes a while, and, they're human. I think people can forget that sometimes, and it takes a while to acclimate. I mean, clearly we've done everything. I also wouldn't represent that he hasn't helped us either. I think that would be an unreasonable representation of Xander Bogaerts' time here. He was an integral part of us winning 93 games last year. Helped us in the playoffs for sure. He's on pace for 40-something doubles, which is a pretty significant number this year. And the other thing is, if people don't appreciate or know, and that's okay, is his baseball IQ that helps move our needle and what he does as a teammate. He's a very, very rightfully respected teammate, and I got the utmost respect as our staff and organization does for him. He's a winning player, and so he does things that don't show up on this sheet and helps other guys. He's a tremendous teammate. So, I understand maybe if you want to compare numbers that the representation, you don't feel like is where it has been performance-wise offensively, but I can tell you this, any day I manage, I'll have Xander Bogaerts on my team. I can confidently tell you that and be really happy about it.
Here's your quick stat for the night. Gwynn popped out only 3 times to the infield the entire 1987 season.
Oh, really? That's impressive. The numbers he put up against Hall of Famers and the number of 4-game hits versus the number of games he had strikeouts, multiple strikeouts, is amazing.
Randy Johnson was the only guy who had trouble with.
Yeah, well, who didn't?
Hey, Nick was kind of agitated in the 5th before Ruben went out in the middle of a count. Were the Giants getting some?
We were just making sure that all our I's were dotted and T's were crossed. We were buttoned up.
In regard to protecting?
Just making sure that we were on the same page with everything.
And you had your bullpen rested. You only have one more game before an off day, but Nick out at 89 pitches. Is that just what you saw there in the 6th?
Yeah, I mean, he goes out for the 6th, and Adames had a couple good swings on him. He gets the base hit. We got guys rested. Let's go ahead and 89. Yeah, it's not a high number, but you let him go 2 more hitters. Now he's at 100, and you got fresh arms down there that clearly have been good for us and were good for us. Morhelm was really good, and Adam was terrific, and Suarez was terrific, and both really efficient, which gives them a chance for tomorrow.